Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You probably hear some ocean sounds, some fire crackling. We're going to welcome in the elements: earth, air, wind, fire, water, ether. Earth, air, wind, fire, water, ether. We've got the incense, the flowers, the crystals, the candles, the diffusers. Source codes coming in. The sun's trying to peek in on this very cloudy, cold, wet, snow on the ground this morning day. And I had more energy yesterday. I thought I'd throw some more yellow on. I had a yellow tank top on yesterday, and I was guided to wear orange with yellow today. So that sacral chakra energy. I've been eating a lot of orange foods, like oranges and mangoes. I eat a lot of fruit. It's basically been fruit for quite a few days. Maybe some organic plantain chips, lemon water with ginger, lots of watermelon water, greens powders, things like that. I think about this time last year I was doing a fruit fast, and again I didn't do the fruit fast because I decided I was going to do a fruit fast. I ended up doing a one day that ended up like 7 or 11 days because my physical avatar, the consciousness of my physical avatar wanted me to go through this particular cleanse. And I think last year around this time I did a fruit fast. If you've not done that and you feel called to, don't be afraid of the fruit, please. I had honey in there. I do raw honey. So yeah, today is a little bit lower. So I had a little bit more energy yesterday with those joy codes, that golden yellow, bees, honey, frequency, that was coming through yesterday. Today I was in bed almost 11 hours. I don't know what I was doing in the higher realms for work last night because I am just physically exhausted. I just feel like I have no motivation. I have no desire to do anything that is me being real, raw, and authentic in each now present moment. And this is for those that are here that have been through many death and rebirth processes. And again, these videos are for everybody, but those that will resonate most deeply feel like their entire life, every month or week or every year or every few years, especially in the last 5 years, you feel like you're just constantly going through death and rebirth processes. As that's how I've been feeling, where you're getting activated, you're integrating, you're receiving downloads, then you're integrating, and then you're going through this death again and this rebirth and going through all the portals. And we are in this 222 portal right now, while Neptune and Saturn are in zero directive Aries as of yesterday. So there's just a lot of this cosmic convergences going on. As above, so below; as below, so above; as within, so without; as without, so within. So that is a real thing. Everything that's going on in the cosmos is happening here with us as well. And if you follow any type of the astrology, no matter what kind, you'll see how everything that is taking place within yourself and collectively in the world stage, you'll see that everything is lining up perfectly. It might not feel that way sometimes, but it is. So this is video 100. Woo! I just realized that. This is video 100 of 111 days of sharing my real raw frequency energy, essence, flavor, color with you, beautiful souls who receive my frequency and energy. So thank you for hanging out with me this entire time. Maybe you're new. Welcome. Welcome. My name is Tanya. I have a background history of in the health and wellness industry in the past 20 years. I have a lot of history with my life. Come from a very abusive, traumatic childhood, upbringing. Like I said, have the background of health and wellness, fitness, holistic nutrition, coaching, all of the things. And then, and I've had many awakenings during that time, but last year was like the big one where the ripcord, my soul had been dragging its feet long enough and basically ripped the band-aid off, ripped the cord, pulled the ripcord in the parachute. Everything changed after that. I went on a massive healing journey, and I'm still shedding, but last year up until, I don't know, I lose track because I don't pay attention to time if I don't have to. Yeah, so a lot has changed since this time last year. Everything is unfolded. I've been journaling since October of 2024. I mentioned yesterday that my very first journal that was gifted to me on my birthday on October 14th, 2024, I literally have like 3 months in one journal, and now I'm lucky if I get a month out of a journal at this point, because when I'm receiving messages or downloads or information from other channels, other super conscious podcasts and things like that, and I'm guided to journal and then either keep for self or I don't know if I want to say integrate and translate in my own way, frequency and energy, to you beautiful souls who receive this message. And again, everything's perfect. You are perfect. You are not broken. You are divinely on time. You are not behind. This is your reminder. You are a infinite, super powerful being that is eternal. All right. So this is the 100th video. I just realized that. So again, I really was dragging my feet. I just have no energy. I have to fill a bunch of water jugs up today. I really don't want to leave the house. So I'm just not forcing that. I'm just going with the flow, as I've learned to do. Be patient and go with the flow and constantly surrender. Constantly surrender and surrender. And some days it's so completely easy, and some days I feel like I'm just done. I am an ancient soul. I have done this many times over again. And if you resonate with that, you know, not just here on planet Earth, but in many other places as well. And we are here now to anchor the light, to be the bridges, to be the way showers, to be the first waves of these, of waking up, like waking up, going through the dark night of souls over and over, going through these death and rebirth processes over and over again, continuing to surrender and to trust and to have faith, even though we can't see any farther than this in front of us. And for me, there's no pun intended with that. And I have aphantasia, so I have a very I can't visualize. I can't. And when someone says imagine this future, I can intend to imagine a future, but I see nothing in the sense of a picture or to create a picture in my mind's eye. I've never been able to do that. I don't know if, that was associated to a head trauma as a child that I'm not aware of, or just from all the traumatic, nefarious, dark things that took place in my childhood that happened to me as that, or I was just born with it. I don't know. Don't have the answers to that. And I've had to continue to accept myself exactly the way I am. And this is how I coded myself for this particular journey. And it has been, I'm not going to bullshit or sugarcoat it. There are times where it's really challenging, and to continue to surrender into what is and just be present in every now present moment. But that's helped with time speeding up and time collapsing for sure. If you start becoming more present and just live your life fully, no matter what your 3D reality looks like, create a sacred space that you can enjoy being in, that you're not trying to escape from. So in the past, when I moved into this space, I've been in this space for 10 years. When I left my son's father because that relationship was not serving me, it was not compatible at that point, I made a big leap, and I've made a few big leaps during this process. And at that time, I was still very unhealed from a lot of stuff from my entire lifetime, this lifetime and past lifetimes that I'm unaware of, as well as working on generational stuff, especially this past year, clearing up generational traumas, hurts, pains, curses, whatever you want to call them, programming, whatever. And so I remember that I always used to chase things or try to escape my space. And over the years in the past, I would say definitely 3 to 5 years, and especially in the last 2 to 3 years, I've really created my space, built my space to be a sacred space that I don't feel like I need to escape from it. And actually what I call this is my sacred cave, is because I've spent more time in my sacred cave than I have been out in the real world in the past 2 years, at least. If I was outside, I would be outside in the yard. It's like I'd leave the space, but I'd still be in the space. I was not escaping anything anymore. So that might resonate. If you're feeling like you're constantly needing to escape something, there's definitely some deep healing work and some root causes associated with that for sure. So it's just constantly being still, because what's taking place is when you get still and get quiet and start accepting the present moment, no matter how uncomfortable it is, it's the ego's going to really try to convince you that you need to numb, you need to escape, you need to distract, you need to do whatever it is to not feel the feelings that are coming up, and to avoid to do the healing work. All right. But once you do the work, it's very liberating and it's very freeing. And then everything starts continuing to unfold. You create a deeper connection to yourself, and in a sense, creating that deeper connection to self, coming back to yourself because you decided to choose yourself first. You decided to quit putting everyone else in front of you and doing the things that you wanted to do, and not because you're doing it to people please or to keep other people feeling comfortable, whatever it is. When you start pouring into your own cup, you start connecting more deeply with yourself, and in connecting deeply more with yourself, you have a deeper connection to source, to the universe, to your higher self, to your spiritual team. And that's what has kept me going forward in this journey. And last year was like the big ripcord. I had a lot of awakenings. I had a lot of healing to do, a lot of deep work. And then of course the ancestral stuff is part of that. You know, I came here to clear 3 lineages, 3 bloodlines. So remember, you're here to not just help clear soul lineages, your soul lineage, but you also incarnate in specific bloodlines to clear and purify and transmute 4 bloodlines. And some of you might have 2 parentals. I had 3 bloodlines that I was clearing. And I was laying in bed last night or sometime during meditation, I don't remember it was, where I was contemplating and thinking, I wonder if there's anyone else in any of these bloodlines that are going through this right now. And the first thing that comes to my mind is no, probably not. But I don't know because I'm not connected to any of them anymore. So that might resonate with somebody where you feel like you are just utterly alone doing it. With you and the team and the source and the universe and Mother Nature, and it's just you and the unseen, you know, the things we can't touch, see, hear, feel necessary. You know, they do communicate through videos, through music, through signs, through synchronicities, through key codes, through resonance, through frequency and energy, through feeling in the body, through just clear knowing, maybe clear audience in the way that you hear, but you not necessarily speaking to you, you know. So again, if you're new, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. There's a lot of just authentic stuff here. It's real, it's raw, it's messy. I don't edit. I don't care about that. I just hit record, and whatever comes out, comes out. Whatever I'm guided to share, or wherever this channeled message comes to in this super conscious conversation, you are receiving the words that you might need to hear, but you're also receiving the frequencies and energies that work through and with me. It's a co-creation, and you're also receiving those frequencies, those energies, those codes for whatever you are needing also in this now present moment. Whether it's just confirmation, a little bit of healing, a little support, knowing that someone else sees you, feels you. Again, I am you, you are me, we are we. We are all one, right? And when you can see yourself in everything around you, when you can see yourself as the homeless person on the street, right? That's the point. When you can see yourself as the flower, as the ocean, as the narcissistic parent that never gave you the love that you needed as a little person, you know, when you can see yourself as that person, it really changes your perspective on things. Again, it's taking that higher perspective, that non-reactive, and choosing to forgive during this process, which is challenging. It can be challenging, but making the choice, not forcing the forgiveness, because that in itself is self-abuse, but making the choice to forgive and say, thank you for the lessons, thank you for all of it, and just surrender and let it go. And that might take a few rounds of that, but just continuing to do that, it gets a little easier to transmute this heavy energy, these things inside of us that have been buried and stuck in different parts of our body and in our organs and our cells and our mitochondria and our DNA and our bones. When that starts coming up, and it's like peeling back the layer of the onion, all right, going a little deeper and a little deeper, but each time you go a little deeper in the layers, it gets a little bit more easier because you have more tools in your toolbox, you have more knowledge and wisdom to be able to move through these more challenging points in your life to continue to move forward, if that makes sense, okay? So I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I wrote some stuff down from my past journal this time last year. The team had me do a guided meditation for the first time, which my ego was trying to fuck with my head, and I'm just like, just leave it. And they want me to do the same meditation again. So it's going to come through differently if I sit down and record it today, and it'll come through differently if I record it tomorrow. So I think they want me to record it again today and then tomorrow. So it's going to be a little different. So if you're guided to go listen to it, and it's just to help with the surrendering and the releasing, and then there's a little recode and reprogramming in there at the end. But it's you doing the work. It's you making the choice to choose you. It's, you know, for the time of the release of that, with the assistance of the codes, the frequencies, and the energies of this co-creation between myself and the cosmic consciousness and source creator. All right. And my higher self. Because I am embodied as my higher self. My higher self is literally driving the wheel. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and the ego is in the back seat looking out the back window. That's just the way it is right now. And it's been like that for a long time. All right. So this is just a little bit lower day. This is just me sharing this. And you'll know if you watch my videos daily that you'll see the different energies and the frequencies and the fluctuations. Again, we're not always here to be on, like on in the sense, we're here to feel it and embody and integrate it. So there's a lot of integrating. So you get activated, you get the downloads, excuse me, and then you have to integrate it. And then you'll come up again. And again, some of you are going to resonate with going through multiple death and rebirths, dark nights of the soul. And integration, like you feel like you're always, and there's a reason why some of us are here just constant. Our bodies have to be upgraded and upgraded and upgraded because we're here to hold more light. All right, some of us have different contracts and different missions and soul purposes. So some of us need to require our physical avatar and our energetic bodies, our field needs to be upgraded as well. And sometimes it's like a constant download, activation, upgrade, reboot, integrate, rinse, repeat. So there are some weeks that it feels like that, and then every few months it feels like a big one is like I'm going through a big transformation. You know, everyone talks about the caterpillar and butterfly. I feel like that metamorphosis has constantly happened since the end of 2024. It's like this constant shedding phase. So that might resonate with you, and just to give you some comfort, if there is any comfort, that means that you're probably here for a big purpose. You just don't know what that is. This now version of you is not ready to know yet. Your future self will know. It's just continuing to integrate, and you signed up for this. You're here to have this human experience, to learn, to gain the knowledge and the wisdom, and to be able to integrate it and embody it so we can move forward as the leaders, the teachers, the healers, the guides for the collective during this huge transition from 3D to 5D, okay? You just don't completely remember because, again, that's part of it. All right. So this is just a beautiful reminder that you are a all-powerful, infinite, more than likely royal, eternal, shiny one, light being. All right. Spark of the divine. And that doesn't make you any better than anyone else. That's just who you are. And this is me reminding you, from one soul to another, from one human to another. All right. You are cosmic. You are infinite. You are everything. You are the nothing. Okay. We are in a time of remembering right now. This is what's going on. We are in a time of remembering. And some of us chose to wake up and remember before others for a divine purpose, for a deeper purpose, a deeper mission, okay? But we had to clear everything out. We had to do the big excavation because we can't bring all of that with us, right? That wouldn't work moving forward, okay? So we are in a time of remembering that you are the most powerful tool, okay? That you are the most powerful tool. That is you. You being you every day, doing the work, choosing you, saying yes to you, living authentically, okay? All right. Let me see here. Your resistance to this change, so some of you might have been feeling resistance to this instead of the surrendering, is not protection. The ego's trying to convince you that's a form of protection. It's not. It's just limiting you And it's not that you're doing wrong. It just slows you down, and you just continue to get more frustrated and more uncomfortable, whatever that is, okay? All right. So stop rushing, stop pushing, okay? This time right now is requiring you to step into your authentic self, okay? It requires you to stop abandoning yourself, okay? And stop abandoning yourself to reach those things that you think the ego is trying to convince you need to reach for. These things that make me worthy, or what did my partner say this morning? Yeah, basically in the form of, wow, they see my worth. No, you're worthy regardless if someone's validating your worth or not. Know that you are worthy of everything, okay? You need to slow down, all right? So remember, what belongs to you is yours already, all right? You are just trying to meet up with it, okay? Remember, every time you choose yourself, you open a portal. And when you do that, everything arranges around you. The universe, the cosmos will rearrange around you to support you in you choosing you. And by choosing you, 2112 on the timer, it opens those portals. And when you choose that, then the universe can say, okay, she wants more of that because she's choosing her. She's loving her more so she can receive more of that, okay? If that makes sense, okay? All right. Remember, you are not too much. You are calibrated for higher standards, and this is your soul trying to get you to pay your attention to that. Okay? All right. Your growth will more than likely offend those who refuse to evolve. So you need to quit paying your attention and quit paying your mind and quit worrying about that, and you just keep going anyway. You quit focusing on that. You don't worry about what anyone else is thinking or saying or whatever about you. That's none of your business, okay? Because your growth in this evolution will irritate other people because they are choosing and refusing to evolve. Not saying that they're not going to evolve, but right now, they're more than likely not choosing to evolve. Everything is a choice in every now present moment, all right? Remember that if something didn't work out for you, okay, if something really didn't work out for you, there's a purpose for that, okay? Remember, sometimes what didn't work for you really worked for you. So if you feel like things are crumbling, those tower moments, just remember that those were not meant for you, okay? So in the sense of, in it feeling that this didn't work out for me, and I don't want to put this. So when things feel like they didn't work out, know that actually they really are working out for you. Okay, they're working out for you for your highest and best good, okay? You're here to live fully and completely, truly and authentically, every day, in every now present moment. Do what excites you, do what expands you, do what ignites you, okay? Do what makes you happy. If sitting here having a conversation like I'm doing does that, do that. Baking some muffins, drinking a cup of coffee, taking a walk, meeting up with some super conscious friends and having a conversation. Go to a coffee shop, listen to a podcast, a super conscious conversation. Do what makes you happy in every now present moment as much as possible. Being truly and authentic, and not doing it because you're trying to escape from something or you're doing it to please somebody or make other people happy. You're doing it because it makes you happy, it brings you joy and expands you, it ignites you. Do the class if it expands you and ignites you, makes you happy and joy. Don't do it if you're not called to do it. So I'll share an example. I've been in a group mentor to mediumship class. I was not called to go to class this week. I was called to stay home and integrate because of all of the triple portal, the 2-2 portal, this Neptune Saturn thing. So I knew, listening to my intuition, that maybe past versions would say, no, you need to be with those people. You need to be around groups of people. No, just because you signed up for something, if you're not feeling called for it, listen to that intuitive nudge, because you're not meant to be around that group of people right now. Even though you might be kind of on the same wavelength, you're being called to rest and to integrate. Okay, so that's an example. Okay, so but continue to do things that bring you joy. And do more of that. Do more of that, okay? If you feel called to play with oracle cards and hit record, do that. If you're called to share light language because it brings you joy and happiness and you're being called to do that, do that. Read a book. So do more of that, okay? Do more of that. And quit trying to escape things. So when things get uncomfortable, do more of the rest. Do more of the introspection, because that inform is going to expand you forward, okay? Into the highest version of yourself. All right. Let me see here. I wanted to pull a couple of higher self messages from this oracle deck I love. And I will probably do another recording of the meditation. So if you feel called to, I have not been called yet to do that. Again, I am multifaceted. Even when I'm in the health and wellness business, I did many things. I never pigeonholed myself in anything. I already knew then that would be a poor decision. So even with doing these recordings, I've been doing, if I'm called to play with the cards, the tarot, the oracle, I'll do that. If I'm called to do light language, I'll do that. If I'm called to do light language with music, I'll do that. If I'm called to have these super conscious conversations, I will do that. If I'm called to do nothing, I will do that. All right. And yesterday during my sacred bath, I got a download for a meditation. So I wrote it down. I journaled it while I was in the tub, because if I didn't, I'd forget. And then I wrote it in my journal and I recorded that yesterday. So that was a new one. So that might be where I'm going to start adding in some meditations in these super conscious conversations. For those that are still here, you are meant to be here this long. All right. For those that were not in residence and they received what they were meant to receive and they've scrolled on. Everything is perfect. Remember, you are perfect. Everything is perfect. Okay. Even when it doesn't feel like it's perfect. Okay. What do we have? Some final messages here from their highest self. Remember, this is from your highest self. This is from source. This is from your team. All right. Be the brave and authentic soul you were always designed to be. I mean, that says about everything that goes. And that's why I like using the cards, because the way the team works is they really correlate the messages that have channeled through me, and they just confirm that with the cards. All right. Be the brave and authentic soul you were always designed to be. It is time to step up and lead from your soul. Just even more confirmation. It's time to step up and lead. We're leaders, teachers, and we're doing that from our soul. You've come back to the start to see what you missed before. Yes, we're here to do so. A lot of us are here graduating. All right, we've gone through all of the PhDs of PhDs. All right. Remember, what you seek is seeking you. When you rest, it'll find you. Okay, so it's getting still, quiet, contemplate. There's a swing here. I never noticed that. All right. So when you get still enough, what you're seeking, those answers, those questions, when you're resting, contemplating, meditation, you need to meditate. But meditation can be a walk in nature. You will find, those answers will find you, okay? Those answers will find you. Your shadows are just hiding. Your shadows are just hiding the light right now. So allow the light to shine through, burn through, integrate, illuminate those shadows, okay? And when you work with those shadows, it just empowers. You're turning your pain into your power. Reach for your dream, knowing that it already has come through. So this is your higher self reminding you. Your future self is telling you, when you continue to reach for your dreams, continue doing that, knowing that it's already come true. Know that it's already yours. It's already happened. You've had the power all along. You just needed to believe it. And this is me reminding you, from one soul to another, one human to another, you have always had the power. You just had to believe it. So just believe it. Okay? Thank you for hanging out, co-creating, and playing with me. If you're guided, please like, share, subscribe, do all the stuff. All right? That would be wonderful for your algorithm. And if you feel called, go check out the light language that I posted, the other card pulls that I posted, and even that meditation that I posted. If I remember, maybe I'll link it below, but I'm not great with that. So I just do what I'm called to do with the way I hashtag and or title the video. So thank you again, from my heart to yours, from our heart to yours. Namaste. I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.